Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And it's that time of the month again for a new SFX magazine review. I want to say very, very clearly to the people who copyright struck me a few months ago. This time I am blurring out pages of dialogue in SFX, so there's no way you can say this is possibly a copyright violation, because it isn't. It's a review. It's a review. It's a very lengthy review. I'm joined by my mate Dan Hadley from the Spacebook, who came in for most of it. And we went on a long time discussing it. I do take a detour and read their review of Sandman, because I find that quite contentious, right? People in the chat were saying they hated it. Look, for me, Sandman was perfect and awful at the same time. Like, perfect with a bit of awful casting, which is essentially just scream Neil Gaiman's hatred of himself, like hatred of his own personal white maleness. And it works in some cases. In some cases, failed in others. But anyway, I get onto it when I read the reviews. So that's one of the reasons it goes so long. It goes on a long time because, again, I'm just chatting a long time to Dan about all the things that come up, in this month's issue. I would say this one's a recommend, right? This issue's a recommend. It seems to have a lot of stuff in it that I find interesting, which is unusual, right? Which is unusual for modern SFX. So, amazingly, I would set some recommended. I have no idea how much they're charging for it. I buy it digitally. I wouldn't put money onto a print version. But if you want to, go ahead. Again, if anything piques your fancy in this review, go ahead and buy yourself a copy. Once again, I want to reiterate, no copyright violation happened in this whatsoever. Things are blurred out left, right, and center. So let me hand over to me and Dan from last night. By the way, also go check out the Spacebook. I'm going to put his channel in the video notes, because after he finished with this stream, he went on and he did. It was a panel show. The most fantastic stream going over the life of John Nathan Turner, Doctor Who producer. I look, far be it from me to fan out on somebody else's channel, but it was really good. I really genuinely enjoyed that. I found that very entertaining content. So there you go. more entertaining and free, right, than SFX magazine, even though this copy is indeed a recommend. Let me hand over to me from last night.
He looks like a leftover BG, doesn't he? Like he's been dug up from the 70s.
He does look. I mean, it looks like he's had too much of a haircut for that. Andor, amazingly, I'm somewhat excited about this. I don't know how that my love of Star Wars is that deep.
Well, we watched the trailer last Thursday. You and I watched the trailer last Thursday on this show, and I thought it was pretty great. Yeah,
I mean, like, I'm actually made up for this, so yeah, I feel weird about that.
What else? House of the Dragon, Game of Thrones is reborn. I noticed they're branding that.
So I think it's a desperate last gasp, quite frankly. I don't think it's going to make it.
Particularly as HBO Max. Well, particularly as HBO Max look like they're moving away from scripted television completely, and it's a HBO Max show, isn't it?
That's the opposite. They had Insanity recently, because they had a slide on their presentation where they compared HBO Max and Discovery Plus, right? Okay. And they showed how they cooperate with each other. So Discovery Plus is non-scripted shows, documentaries, right? Okay. And then HBO Max is in scripted shows. And then Discovery Plus skews female, HBO Max skews male, right? The Twitterites went crazy about that. Like, what? WTF? What? Excuse me? What does that mean? No! I mean, meanwhile, everything's being cancelled left, right, and center. Although Westworld, worth watching from the beginning. Oh my God, so good. Freaking awesome.
Yeah, you said last week how good it was. I think I'm going to go back and watch it from the beginning and then get on board.
Although it's so complicated. But here's the thing. I'm looking forward to watching it from the beginning, because it's a show that can really be enjoyed rewatched. Is designed like that. Are you following a Better Call Saul?
Never seen it. Never seen that either. To be honest, I'm not watching very much at the moment. For a guy who talks about the TV constantly, I'm watching surprisingly little. I've taken refuge in old stuff a lot lately, but I love Strange New Worlds. I'm halfway through the Orville.
Oh, that's great. I'm really loving that. Really loving that. Anyway, fine. Let's get to this. So we got Andor on the cover. Let's turn the slide over here. There we go. These books will not sell. Will not sell, no matter what the quality. The last ones didn't sell. So I'll say now, I don't think I've ever talked about this, but I was told that this range was over, that they weren't going to do anymore. So why they've had second thoughts, I'm not sure. The last one sold really badly. All of them did. Quarter the sales of this one. Fine, we got the intro, whatever, blah blah blah. Wait, let me pull up my copy of it. So I always like the rants and raves. So here, 1 second. I got a copy of it here. I can open up.
I haven't bought SFX for years. The paper quality is so thin now; it's pathetic.
Well, I buy everything digitally.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's one way of enjoying it, I suppose. Oh no, they've got that girl from Lower Decks on the captain's log.
Oh god, yeah, no, they're very woke.
I saw the poster for season 3.
We hate you if you were. If they're very much we hate you if you're not like us. Are you like us? No. Here once. Yeah, that's finally found the doink. Here we go. Oh, hold on. I'm working on my laptop, which means it's I don't have as much screen space.
I see.
So I'm like, it's hard. There we go.
You do jiggery pokery for us.
I am doing jiggery pokery. That's one of the best things. One of the things I'm best at. Here we go.
I saw your picture yesterday. You're waving off your son, by the way. I thought it was a beautiful moment.
Yes. He's on the. He's probably the army now. 1 second. Share screen. Where'd it go? Share screen.
Wait for it, everybody.
There. Let's see what's in the rants and raves. Now I'm going to find the screen. There we go. Raves about San Diego. Oh man, this guy is made entirely of soy.
Oh yeah, he's just got that look about him, hasn't he? That sort of just woken up, might have a wank, might go back to bed kind of look on his face.
Oh my god. Okay. There's a friend of mine who's working on this program where they if you want to move to Israel and work in high tech, they have a 8-month I think it's an 8-month training course. You do like 4 months in America or 4 months or wherever you are, and the other 4 months in Israel. Then they guarantee you a job, and you're basically working for them for the next 2 years after that, right? But then you've really got a good path to a
you've got a good standing.
Getting millennials to sign up to this is freaking impossible. They're like, oh man, I don't, because like for the training it's like 18-hour days, and they're like, oh man, my life work balance, I don't want to mess that up. Oh, come back, where they go.
My son's doing very long hours now. He's working in architecture, and he's finding it taxing.
If he's prepared to put the work in, he's got such an advantage over everybody else because so few people do.
He's got a really strong work ethic, and his brother has, but even he's finding it taxing.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. So excited about seeing Star Trek Wrath of the Khan on the big screen. Reissued. Oh, I didn't know that. That sounds fun. I would totally go and see that. Anything else? What's he not like?
There's another prick there. Another one with no neck. Oh God.
So Ed Ricketts, production editor. I know a lot of people were giving up on Westworld for being too complicated. It is, but series being plotted out from the beginning. The creators from day one that 5 seasons was the goal. This last season, this truncated season, has been very good. Fine. Paper Girls, no interest in watching that whatsoever. Fine.
I thought it looked okay, but it looks. Would it have been commissioned if Stranger Things wasn't a hit? That's the thing. It looks like an also ran. It looks like Charmed. It looks like how Charmed was to Buffy the Vampire Slayer. It looks like a response to something rather than anything that's.
Is that remake still going?
Of Charmed? No, they finished it. It got called with the big culling of pretty much everything on the CW a few weeks ago, along with MacGyver and that silly show about the black millionaire guy, which I thought looked quite fun. But I think they made like 2 episodes of it and they canned it, along with, what's her name, Naomi. Everything got canned and so did Charmed. I think had ran for like 3 years, but they weren't very happy about that ending. I never saw the remake. I love the original. It was a good laugh, but no, I never saw the new one.
So there's this show, Lock and Key's, getting its 3rd season, coming up soon. This just came back. The new episode's out. I'm looking forward to watching it. Do you watch Resident Alien?
I haven't seen season 2 at all. It was after yourself and Ian both told me it had gone it'd gone quite woke. So I've been like holding it off.
Yeah, I forgot. It's been that long since I've seen it. I forgot it went well. Hopefully it'll be back again.
I discovered that show with you guys, and it's mortifying, the idea that it could have gone woke. So it's one of those sort of I'll watch it through the cracks between fingers, with my hands over my face.
I tell you, some things are fun to watch through a crack. Say no more.
Oh god! To get to the, so Lock and Key is one that I'm going to. That's Joe Hill's show, isn't it?
Yes, it is. 1 second. Let's have a look at the news warp. The MCU update, Thunderbolts. I thought it said Thunderbirds. Who cares? Stop! I don't care. All this MCU stuff is garbage.
I tell you what, though, mate, I value printed magazines. I worked in publishing for several years. Right. I'm glad that print magazines survive. But how can they hope? How is this SFX still going with little columns like this, thinking that anybody who buy SFX, either digitally or in a newsagent, doesn't know all this shit anyway, because it was all on the internet 6 weeks ago? It's madness.
But I like them condensing it in one place. It reminds me of everything.
So you think it's for us senior fans as we get through middle age?
That's what I use it for. There's a new Godzilla versus Kong coming out. I love that first one. Furiosa is the prequel to Fury Road. They're trying Green Hornet and Kato again. Russell Crowe sets out spirits in Pope's Exorcist. Doom Part 2. I like Doom Part 1. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so did I. I'm certainly bang up for anything they want to do with that franchise. I mean, I thought he was a bit of a ponce, wasn't he, the lead actor? But he was a capable actor, so yeah, he'd got charisma.
I think the character was a bit of a ponce, right? I think
it's not a word you hear very often now, but it's the one I think he's most fitting.
Yeah, I think, but floppy haired ponce. That's fair enough. But on the when we were sending my kid off in the army, they had like a army photographer there, in army uniform.
Yeah.
Gayest man I've ever seen. Like, big, like he was like John Idman. He was like a 1970s gay character on TV. Gay, the gayest you could possibly imagine. So this, you know what? I thought that Prey movie. I said I thought it might be quite good, yes. And it turned out apparently it is. I have to check it out.
Yeah, it is good. I reviewed it last night. Myself and Ian got together for an hour and a half where Ian completely slated it, even though he then said he liked it. But you know what Ian's like.
Did he like The Grey Man?
He loved The Grey Man, yeah. Sorry, Ian, if you're watching, I don't mean to speak for you, but I believe that he liked The Grey Man, yeah.
Yeah, I thought he would. It sounds exactly what I like. So what's this? There's a new Star Wars. Okay. Don't care.
I'm losing track of all these stupid Star Wars Lego things. Is that's not actually Power Pack? That's something else.
Who cares?
Is it?
It's got Owen Wilson in it. You ever going to watch it? I'm not going to watch it.
Oh, Owen Wilson.
Is on Paramount Plus. By the way, the only thing that got guess which Star Trek show got the most viewers by far on Paramount Plus? Have a guess.
Could it be the one led by the straight white male?
Could be, unfortunately. I just think that's the one that they made good, right? This is getting slagged off, this movie, They, Them.
Oh, no. They Them. Is that the title?
Yeah. This is a horror movie that apparently was trying to be woke, but came anti-woke. I don't understand, right? The story is something like that, right? It's but apparently it is. I mean, like, it's so bad that if they could have pulled it from print, they would have done. Right? It's like they've done the worst thing ever. I have no idea what it is, but it's not good.
I mean, when you see, God bless him, I do like Kevin Bacon. He's done some good stuff, but when you see Kevin Bacon in the cast for anything like that, you know that he'll turn up. He'll do pretty much anything, Kevin Bacon.
Like, look, I like paying the mortgage, right? I like paying the mortgage. God bless you, Kevin. We like you paying the mortgage too. Stranger Ones lower dates set for crossover. Oh God, I wish not.
That sounds appalling.
Right. William Shatner in Master of the Universe. I kind of like that the first half of the season. I really got to watch the second half.
I know you liked it.
Daredevil and Kingpin and Daredevil Born Again. I mean, this is why Disney is pure evil, right? Yeah, of course I'm going to watch that. That's
How can you not?
Best Daredevil comic ever. I thought the casting was great. So, I mean, yeah, look, I'm sure it's going to be Disney-fied, but my wife and daughter makes me keep Disney Plus. I paid for it for a year anyway. It's happening. Right. So yeah.
May as well get your money's worth. Yeah.
What can I say? There's a time travel series. I have no interest.
Did you hear about that lesbian vampire show that was cancelled?
Yes, I did. Now, normally, if
First Kill, it was called.
I'll be like, sorry.
Was it called First Kill? Something like that.
Something like that. But normally when somebody said lesbian vampires, I'm like, well, that sounds like awesome porn. I mean, you know, but apparently not.
It's the kind of film you watch with you have to have your credit card details at regular intervals. But no, apparently it was for like a YA audience. It was all about young teenage lesbians discovering one another whilst drinking blood.
I'm glad it's failed. That being the case, right?
It wasn't for me.
Much like anything in the MCU, like leave me alone. I hate all of this stuff.
Phase 5 looks ass wiping bad.
I mean, like I have Disney Plus. I tried to watch Doctor Strange. Is Thor out yet? I'm not going to watch it. I don't really care. Right? I am now just out. Right?
Yeah, listen. If he's not out yet, I'm sure he'll be coming out in the next film.
Right. This actually looks quite good. Netflix is putting out a lot of good stuff right now. Was it Night Shift? Day
Shift.
This
does look good. This is the thing with Jamie Foxx and the vampires, isn't it?
Right. I really like Grey Man. I really like Sandman. Sandman surprised me in a lot of ways. There are like needle rips things when you have some woke casting. Like everybody in the end list is white and pale, apart from Death, right? Who's a black woman for some reason.
Apart from the breakout character and the whitest character probably in the history of comic books.
And I mean, I have to say, unlike Vivian, what's her name, Pong, who does a mediocre job being Lucian. The woman playing Death was capable of doing the job, right? I'll say. Yeah. I mean, like, she wasn't like useless, but it was so Jenna Coleman and Gwendolyn Christie both made new roles out of their roles, right? Which were inherently feminine. And they really were.
I love both of those actresses. I think they're great and they deserve to be in good stuff. And this was another thing. I wasn't really going to watch The Sandman. I feared the worst, but everybody I respect says it's worth a look, so I am going to commit to watch it all.
It's like pure. It's a pure gold, perfect adaptation with bits of woke shit splattered onto the front of it. Right? That's basically. You know, it says it's going to age so badly. Man.
That's a pity, because something like that has the real potential to be for the television what Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings trilogy was for the cinema. It has the potential to be timeless.
It's done so well. I mean, the dreaming, it's like better than the comic. It's done so well. It's exactly the same, right? They just that stuff is perfect, right? It's absolutely perfect. And yeah, I guess they can only do it now. But and the guy playing Morpheus is perfect. But like have you read Sandman?
No, I've never read it. I've never.
Oh, okay,
it never interested me at the time.
Oh, it's good.
I don't know why. I read Hellblazer for a couple of years, but I went off that, and I never really got on board with Vertigo apart from Doom Patrol.
Well, Sandman was probably their best thing, right?
In fact, my mate Dave has sent me digital copies of every issue of the Sandman. He's been demanding I read it now since the start of lockdown. He said, "You got no excuse now." And then I discovered YouTube instead.
It's actually worth buying the oversized volumes, the absolute editions.
Oh, really? Yeah, they do look gorgeous.
It's not that the artwork was. Okay, the original artist really wasn't right for it. And he was like unceremoniously replaced halfway through issue 3, right?
Oh, that happened. That happened with the Walking Dead comic book as well, didn't it? The original artist was so like that. I like the new art. The new art they got on. One character they just look. Doesn't look anything like itself, right? It was like, whoa, just completely changed in that issue. But again, gorgeous, right? It was absolutely gorgeous. The what was I going to say? I was talking about the so I was getting the oversized volume. So like the first issue is very much like the first episode. They just things they recreate just absolutely perfectly. But yeah, no, I do. So I was saying there's the character in it, right, who falls asleep in 1910, the Sandman or somewhere around there, he gets captured, right, and a bunch of people fall asleep around the world. They have the sleeping sickness. Then in present day, he gets out, but I'm not spoiling it. It's just and everybody wakes up. Now, this one young girl falls asleep was from like a wealthy British family with servants and clearly with lots of money, who happened to be black. And I'm like, that didn't happen. It might happen once or twice, but it wasn't like normal, right? I was like, if you want to make that a black character, you would have to like change that whole character. And there was a black character that fell asleep with that sleeping sickness in Africa, for example. There's so many things they could have done, but it's just so jarring, right? It's so unbelievably jarring. But never mind. Anyway, but other than that, it's a pity when they little things sort of spoil the brew, isn't it? Little things like that. It looks a bit rough.
I don't know what this is. I don't think I ever will.
What on earth have they done? Idris Elba is the coolest man in the planet. What have they done to him?
I don't know.
Made him look an absolute cock. What's that?
What's this called again? The 3,000 Years of Longing is in cinemas. Well, okay, you enjoy it, mate. I'll watch it. So this is the villain from Sandman, Corinthian. Really good. He does an excellent turn in it. Puberty's out in the Antichrist in FX new animated comedy. I'll wait, see if it lasts a couple of years. More Walking Dead. I'm out of the Walking Dead completely. Do you still watch it?
I haven't watched that for years.
Yeah, I kind of got out of it during the Negan War thing, right? Where they just like spent episodes shooting at each other and it was boring as hell.
I think realistically that show had 5 years worth in it at the very, very most. Oh no, what are they doing to Spider-Man now?
I don't know. Spider-Man's probably sucking a dick. It's just the way it goes nowadays. It looks like an anime. Who gives a shit? I mean, really, who gives a shit?
Have you seen Spider Punk, that title that they're doing? It looks awful.
No, I haven't seen that.
And the transgender character Web Weaver or whatever it was as well. They're getting so obscured from what Spider-Man's supposed to be about.
I mean, they're just so into being trans, right? I mean, like, dude, relax. It sounds like you're compensating. Okay, you just calm down. Fine. So nice article on Andor. This is something again. That trailer did a lot of good. I will read this.
Yeah, because these
By the
pictures,
way,
they really reflect the color palette of that trailer, don't they?
Yeah. I mean, that does look like it's going to be good, right?
Yeah.
I know. I will listen. That I'm going to read this.
Who's written that? I love a pun, but who's written that headline on that page there? Nice one, Cyril. That must be somebody. But nice one, Cyril is like from the late 70s. That expression.
Yeah. Nice one, Cyril. See, that's what I quite like at SFX. They do stuff like this. Also, yeah. Listen, I'm probably going to read this as well. Quite a nice article. Although this
I'd love that show to be good. I haven't I think I saw the teaser trailer. I've never seen any actual footage from it. Because again, I think that we could do with a good new fantasy show, whether it's connected to another one or not.
Yeah.
And I would like it to with this because I want good things from Matt Smith, but I've got the impression, I've got this sinking feeling that's not going to be it. But it's not going to be as bad as this piece of shit.
This is epically awful. Right, this is going to be epically awful.
I'm not going to go anywhere near this thing for the sake of my own sanity.
I'm so going near it, mate. To me, it looks like gold.
It's going to be payday, a big payday for a lot of YouTubers. We know there's going to be people out there going to lunch on this. I can't. The way I see it, there are so many shows out there that I do want to watch, like the Westworld. Why would I waste 10 hours plus of it watching that?
I think I'm going to waste a lot more. I'm going to do the of it. Like I'm really going to.
I'd rather give shows like The Wheel of Time, which were completely new, I think came out last year, that I never got around to. I'd rather give those a fair crack of the whip than this. The more I find out about it, the less I like. I mean, the trailer was horrendous. If that trailer was for any other show and you'd say, Dan, look at this new fancy show, I'd say, no way I'm watching that. It looks like something off the Hallmark Channel.
It really did. I mean, everything they're doing is wrong, right? Everything they're doing is like a dumb idea. It's absolutely incredible. It's just so bizarre.
Did you see that footage of Galadriel flying through the air like she was Bonnie Langford in Peter Pan back in the 80s? It was ridiculous.
I honestly, I don't recall because nothing really sticks to me that much. I just really don't care. I just think it looks so. The other trailer was like Days of Our Lives. It's just bad. Everything's bad. On the contrary, we have Stranger Things. This is a little article on the makeup effects they did for the monster. Have you seen Stranger Things?
See again, I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Stranger Things is now 4 seasons in. I've only seen the first 2 seasons, and it's now been that long that I can't really remember anything that happened in them. So I'm going to have to go back, which is it's going to be no hardship. I would rather than waste my time watching The Rings of Power, I think I'll go back and I'll watch all of Stranger Things right up to date. I'll catch up with shows that I like. I'll watch Westworld. I'll watch anything that you recommend. Despite the fact that Ian's always bloody wrong, I will watch anything that Ian recommends. I'll give that a fair shot. Same with Keith Isles, numerous other people. And I'll give those things a fair shot rather than waste my time watching Rings of Power, something that I know is going to either piss me off, waste my time, or make me angry. Why would I want to do that to my own psyche?
I'm genuinely looking forward to the nerdrotic videos about it. They're going to be awesome.
You see, I do worry a little for Gary. I can see why he is compelled to watch it. He is, in my view, in the same way that Eric July is about comic books. I think that when it comes to Lord of the Rings, Gary is the voice in content creation. He knows that text inside out, and I could see why he would feel duty bound to cover it in meticulous detail, but rather him than me.
Right. Yeah. Well, because he knows it so well. So yeah. So again, I'm amazed. I'm realizing this is actually quite a good issue of SFX.
Looks good.
The stuff in it I would like to read. Yeah.
Looks better than the last issue I bought.
So she's in Resident Evil. Looks quite hot.
I'm going to say, I think I may have to go back on my decision not to watch this. Who's that?
Right. Yeah, the Resident Evil was awful. they have a Eon Flux thing. By the way, speaking of Eon Flux, the thing Eon Flux reminds me in comic books, Ronin, Frank Miller's first like adulty comic.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apparently you're doing a sequel now with a new imprint that he's starting. So it might be awful, but I'll give it a go.
Yeah, that's the one he started up with. He started that up with Dan Didio, hasn't he? And he's going back to the well on several of his old IPs because they have them all under the one roof now. And it does make you, because in the end, he went back to the Dark Knight, didn't he? Like 3 or 4 times in the end, and he beat the thing to death, really, to the point where no one gives a shit about the Dark Knight anymore.
Good, right? It was just no good. There we go. This is. I guess she's a writer. What does she do? Hang on, she's magic. Okay, writer of Poppy War. Don't care. But I am never going to read that. Fine, you go on a Game of Thrones tour. That sounds fun. Northern Lights seems like a bit of work to me. So what they're reviewing? Nope. I don't know. I would like to like this, but Twilight Zone wasn't very good. Or I like this actor. Was it? What's his name? I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I like him too. I'm just disappointed every time the man opens his mouth. I think he's a real creative force that's going to do good things. And the fact that such stupid things leave his lips is really disheartening.
I mean, and it's not like, all this racism he sees has in any way inhibited his career. Seems to be doing okay in a very competitive field.
Yeah, he's a hypocrite, I'm afraid, and it just galls me every time.
Yeah, listen, there are people who just put you off. It's like Patton Oswalt. Whenever I hear him, I'm like, no.
Oh, God, right? Yeah, he's a ball sack of a man, isn't he? Oh, God.
Yeah, they all are, aren't they? 3,000 Years Along, they had the thing on this in earlier. It was directed by George Miller. Blimey.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll give it a look in then. If it's directed by George Miller.
Yeah, I take back my previous claim about Idris Elba looking a prick. I trust George Miller.
Is it on streaming? Now I won't.
I can't see him making something for a streaming platform, but I could be wrong.
It's a different world now, mate, isn't it? I mean, it's like you're lucky if you're making something for a streaming platform. Let me find what was that picture of Idris Elba? It was this somewhere, looking like a tit, right? That should stick out. It's not easy to find a picture of Idris Elba looking like a tit. But okay.
He even managed to keep his dignity after advertising, working for Sky Movies on their ads.
Oh, really? Okay, it's in cinemas. That's the thing I said was in cinemas. September 2nd. Well, okay, fine.
If it's George Miller, it'll probably be based on some hard sci-fi book that he's found by the looks of things, or hard fantasy book.
Probably. Now I'm going to read the article. This got terrible reviews. The DC League of Super Pets. It just looks kind of fun to me. I like dogs, so what do you want me to tell you?
I don't really know how bad that can possibly be. It's a bit of fluff. It's for kids.
I don't know. Yeah. One second. Let me find out what's in the
as much as I love that show, I keep forgetting that Ethan Peck is supposed to be playing Spock. It's a totally different character.
When he gets about halfway through, it kind of like develops into its own version.
Yeah.
Right. It does develop an entity. By the way, Keith loves it. Oh my God! Finally, he loved the penultimate episode. He loved the final episode. So I'm looking forward to you finishing that because it's really good. But whereabouts you up to in it?
Oh, I finished it about a week ago.
Oh, the whole thing?
I bumped Strange New Worlds right to the top of my viewing list. I loved every single. Actually, I didn't like the one where they went all medieval. I thought that was a bit crap. But one middling episode out of 10.
I mean, I liked it. It was very Star Trekky, right? It was very them doing something they thought was Star Trekky in a different way. And I liked how they resolved the story with the with his daughter. I thought that was.
So did I.
But I love the Doctor. I think the Doctor's awesome. It's like one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, he's really grown on me. The first couple of episodes, I couldn't understand a fucking thing he was saying. He's really grown on me.
Yeah. I bet that's how I feel about most people. So with a drinking game, gives a pitch perfect near my aping delivery centaurs. That's true. Angst-ridden La'an reveals another hitherto unknown fact about the Gorn. Yes, the Gorn drool whenever they get horny. Really? Yes, I just know this about the Gorn. They're nothing like the Gorn we've seen before, but okay. There's a lot that's nothing like it. I like the engine room, but that's one of my favorite aspects of this. We enter a scene and Pike is cooking something delicious. I like that addition to the character too. You know, I thought that's actually well done. Let's see what else we got.
Makes him seem rounded. I mean, little things like that, they don't actually round a character out massively, but the more levels that you put in like that, the more it does over a period of hopefully a few seasons. We'll be watching this show.
I mean, it made the things like when he took over the pirate ship by making them food make sense, like, and was kind of endearing, right? And I know a lot of people didn't like that. I did. I liked that he had a big pirate ship steering wheel at the end, right? It was just silly, but I liked it. Why not? That's just me. So Nurse Chapel flirts with Spock, then feels a bit sad. Yes. Although I'm happy for her to be on screen as much as she wants. Pike obsessively Googles the cadets that he's destined to save. Yes, Pike says hit it, and the Enterprise goes to warp. Did they do that a lot? I didn't know that. I didn't notice that.
Not in every episode, but most episodes they did, yeah.
I would like to see Rainn Wilson's what's his name? Was it Harry Mudd come back?
They have to bring that character back. He was superb. In some ways, he was nothing like Harry Mudd.
Like the thing to watch in the first 8 episodes of Discovery that weren't awful.
Well, that's why I loved it so much when it first came on, because it was awful, and it was messy, and it did feel raw and underdeveloped, but it felt exciting too. And it wasn't bland, and the show that it became it couldn't be more different. I'm going to have to shoot off now before you get into Miss Marvel. Oh no, I'm going to miss the Miss Marvel talk.
There we go, Miss Marvel. Is there anything that's going on in the MCU that makes you not want to retch? Right? Is there anything at all? No, there isn't. Right? There really isn't. Sandman. So let's read their review of it. See what they say. Because problem being was very he hated it, right? And look, for me, the reason I find any of this stuff I'd always try and watch it in its own. This is the hardest one, actually. I always try and watch something in its own as its own thing, right? That's why I always try and but this was very hard to would I notice that death being black was forced if I wasn't if I didn't know it so well? I think so, right? I think so. But they only give it 3.5 stars, which I'm kind of surprised about. Let's see who's reviewing it. Will Salmon. Okay, let's have a look what he's going to say. Maybe he doesn't like it the race swaps either. So okay. Adapting the Sandman for the big screen was never really a viable option. Neil Gaiman's comic masterpiece is a panoply of tales within tales. Well, but the first six episodes was episodic. I agree, but the last 4, and they're about 40 minutes each, so 80, 160 minutes. That could be a movie, right? That's an epic movie. But yeah, Doll's House could have been a movie. Probably Preludes and Nocturnes as well could be as well. But I don't know. It's like they did add in the whole gaddling thing into that one. Anyway, it has been. I would say this is a more accurate adaptation than the Jeremy Brett Sherlock Holmes was an adaptation of the Jeremy adaptation was Sherlock Holmes. But yeah, look, I found there's a few characters I found jarring. Death being black, I thought the actress could pull off the role though, which I didn't think of. Woman playing Lucian,
And I thought Gwendolyn Christie and Jenna Coleman created new parts, which, so for me, yeah. But here, let's hear what they've got to say. And then Problem Beard's going to let loose, right? We're gonna hear his point of view in a minute. You simply can't do it, Justin, until I move. Fine. So to Netflix, much anticipated, often deeply peculiar TV adaptation with Gaiman's direct involvement at the time. I might even rewatch some of this. At the time, freedom of order by streaming. It's clear this show has been made with real love for the original material and a desire to fit everything in, for better or for worse. I think that's true. I think the big problem with it is Gaiman's own, angst, right? His own, self-hatred. Can't we just cut to the weight, call it the woke? You see, okay. So I'm really thinking about this. How to have a universal definition of woke, right? So woke has to be the platforming of ideology, right? And an existing successful franchise. But I think it's got to be two things more than that, which makes this not woke technically, right? It's also got to be have a mingling of ideas, of ideologies, some of which we all agree with, like black people are people too, gay people are people too. Nobody ever doesn't think that, right? Nobody. And also, if you have other ideologies, it's a good thing for little boys to melt their bollocks off, right? That's just a great thing to do. Little girls should cut their tits off if they want that. So they merge those two things together. That's the second tenet of being woke, because that way, if you say I'm not on board for the kids melting their own bollocks, they would then say, oh, because you don't like black people. What? It's just crazy, right? But the third thing is it's also got to be really painfully low quality. So with that definition, I wouldn't call the Orville season 3, which I found excruciating, and Sandman woke, right? Maybe the quality thing is incidental. Maybe it just needs the first 2 tenets to be woke. But is it woke? I don't know. But here, let's read his thoughts. In 1916, the occultist Roderick Burgess attempted a ritual intended to summon death. Kirby Howe Baptisti, which was honestly, Neil, mate, it's so obvious you just want to appear like virtuous, right? It's that you're on board for this rewriting of our culture, right? It's because you feel guilty about it. It's more about your existential angst than it is about telling a story, which is really sad, right? Because you telling stories were very good, right? Although the stories are they're just weird. They seem like they were written 20, 30 years ago now. They're very, very different, right? Where are we? Some Deso are playing where it goes wrong and he ends up instead with a brother Morpheus. Too afraid to let him go, Burgess imprisons the Dream Lord for a century with dire consequences for humanity. I like the way the comic book did it better. The comic book in that was much better, that Burgess eventually killed himself and didn't just die from happenstance. I liked him having more control, right? And his deal was was like, don't take revenge, right? And I think Morpheus would have actually gone for that. But I think he was mad at the killing of in the TV show, he was mad at the killing of his raven, which is why they, that was a good scene as well. I thought that worked. Where Morpheus finally does escape, he must embark on a quest to recover his totems of power. Meanwhile, a living nightmare called Corinthians is wreaking havoc in the waking world. Storm Sturridge effortlessly embodies Morpheus, bringing both artistic disdain and a touching vulnerability to his immortal being. His command of press one button. His command of The character's voice, especially the is eerie to one. It really is. It was exactly as you imagine him. There, I agree. There, Sometimes does an excellent job. Just hear him speak. In fact, I wouldn't mind him doing like a Sandman book on tape. Right? I bet he'll be good at that now. The entire cast is strong, particularly Howard Baptiste, the charming, comforting death. No, she doesn't overcome the identity casting, right? Because I don't think anybody could, because it's so ingrained into that, right? David Thelwis as the Rangers John D, a much scarier and also more empathic villain than the big bad Corinthian. Very interesting. I thought they played him very well, right? I thought they played him really well. And while you can sometimes tell the budget is being stretched to breaking point, otherworldly locations like the Dreaming and Hell are evocatively realized, while CGI convincingly brings characters like Merv Pumpkinhead, voiced by Mark Thatcher, Mark Hamill, man, to life. If that for me was fantastic, right? I really thought that worked. See, for me, it's a 10 out of 10 minus 3 for wokeness, right? So you get 7. Still, some elements that work well on page don't translate to the script easily to television. I mean, I have to tell you, the thing I really missed was this one page when you see Burgess's son keep going to Sandman, keep going to Morpheus, and saying, I'll release you if you do this. But you see his like hairstyle change, the body like the clothes change as time melts on. Right, I thought that was a much better way of transitioning through time. The Sound of Her Wings, based on one of the comic's best issues. This could have been melancholy, but ultimately uplifting its mortality. That's true. Okay. The reason this episode works isn't so much the actors playing death. It's such a good story. It's so well written. It's so beautiful, right? It was beautiful in Sam in the comic book. That story is still beautiful in my mind, right? Though his sister's eyes, through his sister's eyes, instead the show crushes all that into a scant 20 minutes before changing into an adaptation of Men of Good Fortune. That sort of thematic set. I mean, I found it fine putting the two things together, right? Still, for all its weird choices and tonal swerves, it's hard not to root for the Sandman. There's generally nothing else like it on TV, and its considerable charm and grandiose gothic oddness. I mean, I'm looking forward to a second season. I do hope the second season it will be like the standalone stories. They were always my favorite. I always liked those. So anyway, Man Who Felt Worth that was woke trash, as was Resident Evil. Both died a death instantly. I got to check this out again. I have Disney Plus. I always thought this might work, right? I was on my channel saying this, or somebody's channel saying. I think I was on Dan's channel saying about 6 months ago. The reason Arnold Schwarzenegger beat Predator is because he was completely organic, right? It was covered in mud, and that was the point of the movie. First, you had Arnold couldn't see the Predator because he was cloaked, and then his cloak bust, but Arnold's covered in mud, and the Predator now can't see him, right? And he made all the those non-metal traps. So that's why I thought it could work. Creatures of the World Forgot. I have no idea what that is. Okay. Green Lantern, Beware of My Power. I will. Beware of My Breath. I don't know any of these things. Okay. Universal Terror. What's this? It's a 3 servings of special K. I guess it's 3 horror movies. I get. I can't read here. Let me look at my own copy. I think. What is this? Universal Terror as Frankenstein's creation. Boris Karloff, the cult Stitch frontman of the Universal Horror Empire, but beyond that, the enduring icon. Former William Henry Pratt was dependable. Okay, what is this? I guess it's a bunch of movies. Okay, yeah, it looks like it's a box set of horror movies. They're like obscure horror movies. See, that's the sort of thing I like, though, right? I like discovering these things on I like it when they're just on TV and you discover them. Like, oh, what's that? Luck. Oh God, I have no interest. They keep promoting that on Apple. Really not interested at all. Monsters Go Home. That was what year was that? Was that the one they had where they had Fred Gwynn in it? Man, that new Monsters looked like it's going to be awful, right? 1966. Yeah, okay. This is when Monsters was. They did one in the 80s as well. Bum, 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 da, 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 da. Dog Soldiers. When was that? I remember that being quite good. Who was that? Who directed that? That's 2002, right? Neil Marshall. Right. Okay. So I guess they're bringing that out on Blu-ray or something. Fantastic Beasts. Don't really care. Drive. Is that the one with what's his name? Mark. Maybe it's an original version of it. It's a '97 movie. What's the name? No, Drive, right? That was the one with he liked Shooty Gatwa. What else they got coming out? Dune, Edge of Tomorrow's in a still box. When's that movie coming out? Event Horizon, Indiana Jones Last Crusade. Look, I got a box set of all of them. You know, Edge of Tomorrow is great though. Like I really liked Edge of Tomorrow. Killer Moonflower. Okay, by the way, this issue of SFX is a recommend. Oh, Red Sonja, Bridget Nielsen jiggling around for All a Life Will Give. Yes, we like that. We totally like that. What year was that? That was still the 80s, wasn't it? That was 85, a good year. Light and Magic, Lawrence Kasdan's 6-part industrial light documentary. Oh, is that on Disney Plus? Man, I gotta find out where to find this. It's man, that looks really interesting. I want to see that. 6-part documentary on industrial light and magic. Yeah, totally up for that. 100%. Oh man, that sounds awesome. I would buy that. Give it to me on physical media, mate. Oh man. Let me look at a BitTorrent site. See if I can find it. See if it's out yet. I mean, that's the way I find that we can that I find things the best. I go to a BitTorrent site and I work out what streaming service it has from that. And I'm like, oh, if I have that, then I'll go watch it. Light and Magic. Yeah. Okay. Fine. Oh man, this looks fantastic. I've got to find out where is it. Fine, but I am interested in that. Yes, you have piqued my interest. SFX magazine, you have done well. Okay, I'm not going to read any of these books. Leave me alone. The Man Who Lit Through Film. What's this? Now I'm glad I find. See, this is why I like SFX. You do find good stuff that's out there occasionally. Where was it? Man Who Lit Through Time. This looks like anime thing. Right? There are a few names of the modern Japanese animation world quite as exciting as Maramu Hososhi. Well, not really exciting to me. And Pulp Power. That sounds like fun. Man, that does sound like fun. It's a stylish celebration of the Shadow, Doc Savage, and other pulp magazines. Oh, man, that does sound like fun. Yeah. Bit alluring pulp is always good. We like that. What else we got here? Deadwater, Book of Gothel, Iron Curtain. Never really heard any of these. Hang on. Frozen again? Yeah, probably. God, there you go. Fine. What else we got? Got these reissues. Don't really care. Leave me alone. Bunch more books that I'm not going to read. Don't really care about. And then Fauna Enemy writers rocking out to Boston now. That okay. This is an ad. I take it. I'm writing books. Okay. He's writing books. Well done. Batman Fortress. This is writer is Grit Whitaker. Never heard of him. Derek Robertson. He's the guy who did who did The Boys. Is making a fortune from that now, I believe. But nice artwork. But I just don't care that anything that DC is doing. I mean, you get the feeling that everything they're doing is just on borrowed time, right? You get that like nothing's going to go, carry on. Is you get like the big reboot is coming for them. Sadly, I mean not sadly. I mean they blew it up, didn't they? They literally blew themselves up. DC. Yes, it's not turning. Oh, and a second. Now my computer's frozen again. Rocketeer. I can't hear him if you look at it a bit. Oh, there we go. At last. Rocketeer. I think this is what's the name doing it? The original artist. In a second. Let's put the camera back on. There you go. Because I mean, I like the Rocketeer because it was, to me, it was just the right balance of like Stephen Muncie. I don't know, but it was like a fun balance of sexy and steampunky fun. But you got to assume most things nowadays are going to be awful. Stray, it's a PlayStation game, okay, PS3, and Space Oddity by Audible. For All Mankind Meets Futurama, this 10-part full-cast sci-fi drama written and directed by former Simpsons writer Bill Oakley. See, I'm not gonna. They should give away an episode for free. This should be out soon. I like it. They're going to have the Ninth Doctor with Sontarans, which sounds quite fun. And this, I'll read the review of it, but I doubt I'm going to get it. Right? I'm in the wrong thing. Hang on, I'm terribly sorry. There you go. Now I'm on the right thing. The UFO, yeah, I doubt I'm going to get it. I don't know. Look, Big Finish has really burnt a lot of goodwill, I'm afraid. UFOs, let's see if we can answer any of these questions. I'm always awful at these, right? Which BBC comedy show spoofed Close Encounters of the Third Kind by Trump? Oh, The Goodies. Okay, there I go. We got the first one right. Question number 2. In Jerry Anderson's series UFO, what does SHADOW stand for? Supreme Headquarters of... something and defense. I can't remember. Which 70s TV show was inspired by a real-life U.S. Air Force investigation project Blue Book? I guess the X-Files. Oh, the 70s. Is it Kolchak? Kodak? Oh, yeah, one of those. Which 1988 comedies about a UFO spotter was written by Quatermass and Nigel Kill? Kinzig. Oh, man, I'm doing good with these ones today. Look at me. Look at me go. Look at me go, amigo. Where are we up to? Which popular TV personality starred in 2006? Was it Alien Autopsy? That'll be Ant and Dec. M. Night Shyamalan Signs. What natural substance is the deadly to the aliens? Water. Okay, fine. I'm actually doing better than normal. I only thought I'll do this because I thought I'd suck, and I thought that would be funnier and more entertaining, but apparently not. I mean, really, why would that be a main feature? Hocus Pocus? Really? Doctor Who, the moment has been prepared for. Apparently not. They're saying they can't put anything in because they haven't got anything from the production office. They were pissed off the other day. Spider-Man still worth sitting at 60 times. And look how empty this is. It's crazy. Right? It's absolutely crazy. Wink South. Okay. This issue, I think very good. Next week, next month, not so much, right? Next month seems absolutely awful, right? I mean, it seems really bad. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.